People are literally typing, "How do I delete ChatGPT?" into ChatGPT. Read that again. They open the app, they get frustrated, and then they ask the app how to leave the app. That's the whole joke, and it's also the whole problem. So today I'm answering a real question. When to stop using ChatGPT and switch to Claude, and whether you even can. Here's the plain answer up front, so you don't have to wait for it. Most people don't actually need to quit ChatGPT, and honestly, most people can't, because it's become a habit. Not just a tool, but a specific group of people genuinely should switch to Claude, and by the end, you'll know exactly whether you're one of them. That's the loop I'm keeping open, not which one is better. That question is lazy and it's wrong. The real question is which one is better for the exact thing you do all day. Stick around, because the reason people feel trapped has almost nothing to do with the model being smarter. Quick thing before we go deeper. This channel is sponsored by NBC Canada Inc., and if you run a trades or construction business, listen up. They fix the bookkeeping mess that's quietly choking your business so you can finally see your numbers and control your cash instead of flying blind. There's a free trades bookkeeping scorecard linked below that shows you how much money your business is actually leaking. Go grab it. It takes a few minutes. Okay, back to it. Let's kill the biggest myth first. People think they're stuck on ChatGPT because it's the smartest. That's not it. The thing keeping you there is the habit loop. You know where the button is. You know how it talks back. You've got months of little conversations, saved prompts, that one custom instruction you set up and forgot about. Switching feels like moving apartments. Nothing's technically stopping you, but the boxes are heavy. And here's my contrarian read. The thing nobody's selling you an AI subscription will say out loud. The real moat isn't the model quality, it's the interface and the habit. The model gap between the big tools narrows every few months, but your muscle memory doesn't reset. That's why you feel trapped even when a genuinely great alternative is one sign up away. So when someone asks, should I quit ChatGPT? What they're really asking is the pain of switching worth it for what I actually do? That's the question we're answering, and to answer it, you have to stop comparing the tools in general and start comparing them on your specific job. First real difference, and it's a big one. Long, careful writing. Claude tends to shine when you hand it a big, messy writing job and say, keep my voice, follow these 15 rules, don't get weird. Say you drop in a rambling 4-page draft of a client proposal and ask it to tighten it, keep your slightly informal tone, and not turn every sentence into corporate mush. Claude usually holds that tone longer and drifts less across a long response. ChatGPT can absolutely write, but on very long outputs, it has a habit of sliding into that generic, over-polished AI cadence, the one with the tidy bullet summary at the end you didn't ask for. If you write for a living or you send a lot of client-facing words, that drift is the difference between something you can send and something you have to rewrite. Here's the honest catch though. For short stuff, a quick email, a caption, a subject line, this barely matters. Both nail it in 2 seconds. So if your writing is mostly short bursts, this reason to switch just evaporated. That's the trap of general comparisons. The win only shows up at length. Now flip it, because here's where ChatGPT pulls ahead hard. Anything that touches the live internet, current events, what happened this week, a fresh product, prices that change, a link you wanted to actually go read. ChatGPT is built to reach out to the web and images and voice all in one place. It's the everything app of the two. Claude is more of a specialist. It's a phenomenal thinker and writer, but it's not trying to be your search engine, your image generator, and your voice assistant all at once. So if your day is, look this up, summarize that article, make me a quick graphic, check this fact, ChatGPT is a smoother ride and it's not close. Let me be blunt about what that means and what it doesn't. It means if your work is research heavy and current, don't quit ChatGPT for Claude. You'd be trading a Swiss Army knife for a really sharp single blade. It does not mean Claude is dumber. It's a design choice, focus versus breadth, and pretending one is universally better is exactly the hype I want you to stop falling for. Third beat, and this is the one that changes minds. Long, careful reasoning over a big pile of stuff. Picture this. You dump in a 40-page contract or a long transcript or 3 research reports and you ask a real question. Not summarize this. Something like, find every clause that contradicts the payment terms and explain the risk in plain English. That's deep work over a lot of context. Claude tends to be very strong here. It's built to hold a long document in its head and reason across the whole thing without losing the thread halfway down. It stays patient with big context, and it's less likely to confidently make something up when it doesn't know. which, if you're dealing with anything legal or financial, matters a lot. ChatGPT can do this too, especially in its heavier reasoning modes, but there's a real difference in feel. On a giant document, ChatGPT is a bit more likely to give you a smooth, confident answer that sounds right and quietly skips a detail. Claude is more likely to slow down and actually chew on the whole thing. The honest nuance: this gap only shows up when the document is big and the stakes are real. For a 2-paragraph email, nobody's careful reasoning is getting tested. So again, the switch only pays off for a specific kind of person, and we're building the profile of that person beat by beat. Let's talk code, because this is where the loud opinions online get the most annoying. Both write code. Both are genuinely useful if you build things or you're a non-engineer trying to automate a spreadsheet. Claude has earned a strong reputation with developers for writing clean code and being good at working through a real coding problem step by step across a big code base. ChatGPT is a fantastic all-rounder for code, and because it plugs into everything, it's often the more convenient place to just get a quick script and run with it. For a beginner asking, write me a little tool to rename these files, both are great and convenience wins. Here's the reframe most people miss. If you're a serious developer working in a big project, the depth of the coding help is a real reason to pick a tool. If you're a normal person who codes twice a month, this whole debate doesn't apply to you, and letting Twitter arguments about code quality drive your choice is a mistake. Pick the one that fits the rest of your day. Now, back to the thing that actually keeps you stuck, because this is the heart of it. Even after everything I just laid out, most people won't switch. Not because ChatGPT wins every category, it doesn't. They won't switch because the app has quietly become part of their routine. It's on the home screen, it remembers their setup. It feels like a friend who already knows the context. That's the moat, not raw intelligence, comfort, and location. And the companies know it. The stickiness is the product. The longer you use it, the more it feels like yours, and the more absurd asking it, "How do I delete you?" starts to feel, which is exactly why that question went viral in the first place. People are half joking and half serious. So the practical move isn't delete everything and start over. It's smarter than that. You don't have to divorce a tool. You can just add a second one for the specific jobs it's better at and let each do what it's good at. Here's the part that makes this whole decision way lower stakes than the internet makes it sound. You don't have to pick. Both have a free tier, both have a paid tier if you want more. So the honest cheat move for most people is to keep ChatGPT for your everyday research, images, and quick stuff, and open Claude when you've got a long document to reason through or a serious piece of writing to get right. Now, don't take my word on the exact limits, because free tier caps and what each plan includes change constantly. Go check the current free tier limits yourself before you pay for anything. The point is, you can test drive both without spending a cent, which means the whole should I quit panic is mostly fake urgency. Try the same real task in both. Your actual proposal, your actual messy document, not a demo prompt, your real work. That 5-minute test tells you more than any comparison video, including this one. So let me get decisive, because that's a promise. Here's exactly who should actually stop leaning on ChatGPT and move real work over to Claude. If you write long form for a living and you're tired of stripping the robotic tone out of every draft, switch your writing to Claude. If your job is reasoning over big contracts, transcripts, or reports where a missed detail costs you, move that work to Claude. If you need careful, patient thinking and you'd rather it admit uncertainty, then bluff. Claude's your tool, and here's who should absolutely not bother. If your day is quick questions, web lookups, images, and short messages, stay on ChatGPT. Switching gains you nothing and costs you your habits. Chasing the shiny alternative when your current tool already fits your work is just a way to waste an afternoon. That's the whole answer to when to stop using ChatGPT and switch to Claude. It's not about which is smarter overall, it's about matching the tool to the one thing you do most. Before I give you the one rule to walk away with, this is where an honest gut check matters more than any feature list. It honestly doesn't matter. What has been working for you works for you. There are so many tools out there, so many AI platforms, and you should switch from all of them to using Claude. Claude is the highest tier model right now. Not the cheapest though, it is probably the most expensive AI on the market. ChatGPT is going to be significantly cheaper, but it's not, and here's why. If you want to use ChatGPT's 5.6 model, they do not let you use that model on your plan. You have to use their API pricing. As of right now, Fable from Anthropic can be used with your plan. They've given everyone a weekly usage of Fable on their plan, which just kind of blows my mind because I'm having access to the greatest model in the world on my subscription plan. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm on the Max 20x subscription plan, and that subscription plan is $300. But I almost use all my plan every week. With ChatGPT, you have to pay extra for their top tier model. I think there's one included. I haven't actually checked, but it's a dumbed down version, I believe. I think there are 3 tiers of ChatGPT 5.6. So my conclusion is use what tool works for you that you can actually streamline your work. Use the AI models to make you money, or it's just a waste of time. If you're using any other AI platform other than Claude, you should switch to Claude. It's just better, it's more honest, it does a better job. I use it for absolutely everything in my business. I rarely leave Claude code, and so yeah, stop using JGPT, switch to Claude. You'll thank me later, so here's the simple rule you can act on today. Don't quit anything. Add Claude alongside ChatGPT, both on the free tier, and for the next week, send your longest writing and your biggest documents to Claude, while everything else stays where it is. After a week, you'll know in your gut which tool owns which job, and you'll never have to ask an app how to delete itself again. The people who feel trapped aren't trapped by the technology, they're trapped by the habit. And now you know the difference, which means you get to choose on purpose instead of by default. If this made the choice simpler, subscribe, because I break down AI tools like this in plain English every week, no hype, no jargon. And tell me in the comments which tool you want me to pull apart next. Big thanks again to MBC Canada Inc. for backing the channel. If you run a trades business and you're tired of feeling blind on your numbers, grab their free bookkeeping scorecard at the link below and see exactly where your money's leaking. I'll see you in the next one.